Welcome to episode 38 of Spill the RT. Hi, Josh. What's the crack and lackin'?
Hey, Eamon. 38. Oh, my goodness. 38. We're getting definitely into middle age at this point. For
middle
sure,
age,
right?
middle age. We're back to our old antics, Josh, of talking about the numbers again.
How was your week?
It was good. Everything was fantastico. What happened this week? Let me see. Nothing really, lots of art news though that we have to share. So maybe let's skip into that because, who cares about what I did during the week other than the fact that, I went to the gym and did some artwork. I made some art. That was good.
I'm trying to help you out here. You have your own show coming up. So I'm trying to help you out. And then you just completely... Anyhow,
I do.
This week...
It's not my own show, though. Let's make that clear. I'm in a group show so that we don't want to claim ownership over the whole thing. But yeah, if you're around London, Camden Art Centres, we're opening on Tuesday. So there you go. A little self-plug there. Huh?
You're welcome.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks for looking out for me. You're so kind.
Love ya. Man. I always have your back, bro. Always.
Cool.
This week.
Well.
This week, 3 charged in a golden toilet theft. Cattelan is involved, of course. Anti-Musk, the schmuck, street art. A Danish Stonehenge may have UK links. Murakami collabs with the Dodgers and the Cubs. And a Pokemon Cheeto sells for $87,000. All that and a brand new guest are up next as we spill the hard tea. Welcome to episode 38.
Are you okay
Cheeto,
there?
That Cheeto, man. Every time that Cheeto makes me laugh so hard.
Here. We'll hold it. Hold it, Josh. Hold it.
Bring on our guest.
Hold it. Bring it on. Bring on down our guest of the week. It is Fiona Lucia McGarry. Come on down. Hello. Welcome to the show, Fiona.
Hello. How are you guys?
We're doing well. How about you?
I'm really good.
Amazing. Are you ready to spill some RT?
Oh, I can't wait.
Great. We will talk about all of what's happening in your world at the end of the show, as we always do. But for now, we're going to get on with our very first story. Where are we heading to first, Josh?
So we head back in time to 2019 to Blenheim Palace, which apparently is Winston Churchill's... Well, it is back in time with the story.
When you say that as if we're going back to the prehistoric, pre-Raphaelite...
Okay. I'm living in America 2025. 2019 seems like 7 lifetimes ago at this point, right? So
there was a lot happening in 2019.
Back in 2019, the golden toilet called America, naturally, since it's Cattelan. This is 18 karat gold, or it was. This had been in the Guggenheim, and then it was in England at this Blenheim Palace, which I guess was Winston Churchill's thing somehow. I don't know. Regardless, it got broken into and stolen. And it's already chopped up and gone. But they arrested 3 people who are now pretty much they have them on camera. Like, we saw them caging the place. We know that it's them.
Oh, I didn't find that footage. I must look for that. But what I did find about the story were the statistics. I found them very interesting, so I wrote them out.
Sure.
So it's 103 kilograms in weight. I thought that was very heavy. I mean,
that's almost 200 pounds, folks.
And that's before you take a dump. So
And you could see, that's why that was the whole thing about this. Originally, it was set up in the attendance area at the museum, and then you could win a ticket to be able to use it yourself as a visitor. And so this literally was a working, flushing 18 karat. Hey, I'm just telling you, right? So the thing about this, so it got deinstalled and then shipped over to England. So someone had to clean through the toilet. So it was a working toilet at some point, and now, of course, as soon as it got stolen, it was chopped up, and the gold is long gone, and right, that's how these things go.
And do we know what type of toilet brush they were using? Was that gold as well?
Hey, it was Tesco finest.
I don't know, man. I don't know. So that 4.8 million pounds, it was insured by insurance for that much money, which is $6 million. Because how much? It's 18 karat gold, right? We're talking a working 18 karat gold.
That's mad. Is there questions out there or thoughts about it being melted down?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, apparently it's gone, right? It's been totally
And
I
that's
think some jeweler was up in court over it, that they
yes.
bought the gold, but said, "Oh no, I didn't know anything. I just got a big golden toilet and melted it."
Well, it was probably in pieces, right? Like, so like the toilet seat would have been like in several smaller bits. Oh geez, this coming in all the depth. I always see parts of a golden toilet coming in. I have no idea what could have happened here.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I wonder though, would it be out of place though in just a standard person's bathroom? You know, it just looks a little bit, you know,
You think?
you'd
Well,
have,
that was
you'd
the
have to
whole.
design the whole bathroom around it to make it look good.
So to give it a little more context, right? This was done by Cattelan in 2016 after our current president was elected the first time, and so it was meant to be a commentary, right? He's known as the Golden Turd. Well, here's the golden crapper that the golden turd goes down.
I mean, my big question really is, would you use it?
It apparently was very popular.
I think if it was like the Japanese toilets where there'd be heated seats and, you know, the nice little spritz after you're finished, then maybe that might be a way to go for me.
Gold is a conductor of heat. I don't think you want a heated toilet that's made of gold. That would
Okay.
talk about a burning butt situation. You know what I'm saying?
Oh dear, oh dear. It wouldn't be hot-headed then, it'd be hot
You may
bummed.
have a curry that goes through you quick, but I think
Oh,
you
dear.
don't want.
That's a different kind of burn that we don't want.
That's see, I was trying to make the obvious play more obvious. How's that?
There's a lot of bum jokes today.
I'm kind of sad. I'm kind of sad that the toilet was destroyed, though, because imagine in 4,000 years somebody finding this golden toilet and trying to figure out, did they pray to the gods of the golden toilets, or
It was a monarchy. It was part of the monarchy. It was.
It's very true. It's very true. That's a really good point. I hadn't thought of it that way, but yeah, it is a kind of sad moment for future anthropology. What you gonna do?
What you gonna do? Right. Well, that tea is flushed. So moving swiftly along into our next story, where we are going back to America and what's happening in America.
This one is in DC, and there's this idea of what's called a culture jam, right? You essentially use the system against itself in terms of advertising. So as in many cities, there's like these plaques that are put up that have various kinds of public messaging, different kinds of posters and things, right? So this artist, what his name is, Sang, I think is his last name, does these like satirical, he's well known for doing this kind of artwork. And so put up one that was an anti-Elon Musk, because right, Musk keeps sort of showing who he is with his spastic, autistic, Hail Hitler.
Oh, his very unfortunate action at the inauguration.
Yeah. No, but he keeps like retweeting stuff, and like his South African roots are no longer they're no longer getting bleached out. They're purely growing out, and you can see South Africa there in all of its glory. And so this guy puts up this poster, which is completely fake, right? And then this senator, Tom Tillis, who's not exactly the brightest bean in the block, he makes it a whole cause celeb on social media, which of course is what the artist wants in the first place.
Guerrilla marketing at its finest.
So, but the issue is, we've talked about this before with this kind of agitprop art. Does it actually work against you? Because if you're railing all kinds of people who get even more pissed at something that's not even what's intended, I don't know if you're actually making any difference in the world if you're doing this kind of work. That's the only question I always have. What do you think, Fiona?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess is the purpose of the work to provoke a response. So in that sense, it's been very successful. So I think, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because yes, you could say it puts fuel in the fire, but I mean, we're chatting about it now, and I suppose you would live in hope that it might provoke debate, in the, like I've seen, there was some artists putting up some art in the London Tube as well, I think, and in the subway in the States, kind of similar along the lines with the Tesla logo and the Nazi salute.
But see, in France, they actually have been burning entire Tesla dealerships to the ground, because France has a long tradition of, you piss us off enough, and guess what? We remind you, rich folks, exactly who's in charge. So like that's anti-Elon too, but it hits the bottom line a hell of a lot in a more realistic kind of way. And I'm not encouraging anybody to do violence. That's our disclaimer here. I'm just saying, if I'm objectively looking at an anti-Elon Musk act, right?
This is the better way to go about it.
Well, or the boycotts in the US, right? Which are causing huge, sales are down in the UK, sales are down in Germany. Like, the reason that they're panicking and bringing Teslas to the White House and having a car show on the fucking front lawn is because actual real world actions cause real world ramifications. And I get what artists look, we can only poke and prod. I get that. But the purpose of agitprop beyond that is what then? And that's always my question.
I think this ad in particular as well, it's kind of poignant in that it's designed in the fashion of a previous ad in relation to HIV and AIDS. So I think that's also just an important point in terms of that he used the USAID logo because that's one of the pieces of funding that was cut. And now, unfortunately, there are babies being born with HIV unnecessarily and things like that. So I think that's kind of a poignant part as well, isn't it?
You got a ton of free condoms for that too.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Part of the poster, we can't really see it too well in this particular image, but on the bottom there is the USAID logo and the whole point. And there's like text below it about $69 million and et cetera, because of the funding that was cut and like all different. There's layers to this, don't get me wrong, but you also have to be in the know. And so it goes back to this issue of if it requires a certain level of sophistication in order to kind of decode it, how effective actually is it as an actual... Right, like just a simple fuck Elon might be like a clear, and that's what people have been spraying on like Teslas at the dealerships in the U.S. Like there's huge amounts of property damage that have been happening. Again, not encouraging anybody. I'm just saying if we're looking objectively at like how you can do things to like push back, I'm just not certain how much this messaging, other than like making you feel good and letting you know that there's solidarity with others and that kind of thing. Don't know.
I don't know. Well, like, I mean, it's kind of also with the fact that he's taken over X as well. And like, you know, there's an awful lot of hate speech over on X. Right. And like, it's exactly he's in control of that. He's the one who's pushing those buttons. Right. And I suppose I think this is a one of the lesser evils in how this person, this artist is fighting back. But who am I to know? Winston, we are kind of on your side here a little bit.
You know, who knows what it'll end up being? Remember, Obey Giant becomes the Believe poster for Obama, right? And so it being an like a sort of agitprop artist can certainly parlay into things down the road. It did for that particular artist. Anyhow, I think that is spilled.
That is spilled. And we're going from stone to wood now.
Off we go to Ars, North Jutland. Which is somewhere in Denmark. I don't know. I've never been to Denmark, so I couldn't tell you where it is. I've been to Stonehenge. I know where that is. Anyhow, they found what they're calling Woodhenge, which was essentially a Stonehenge. Right? A henge means a circular design. And in particular, these things always end up aligned in terms of the stars with the same orientation because they were used in various combinations with star observation, right? We know that much. We don't know anything else about why any of this stuff was done. But that's why anytime Stonehenge comes up, I always like to bring it up because it's really kind of weird and this like connection to the past, but we don't really know what any of it actually means.
They're not just potholes, is what you're saying.
Well, that's what they thought. They thought it was post holes, and then they realized, oh, it's a circle. So no, that couldn't have been what that was. And then they start to look at the orientation of it, and it literally lines up.
To the
it lines up exactly with Stonehenge's formation and other henges that are throughout all of England. But this is apparently the first one of several now that have been found in Denmark. So there you go. I don't know. I've more Viking shit probably.
I wonder, are there others? You know, are there other Stonehenge arrangements or variations? This is the eco-friendly version.
Well, like I said, apparently there's a couple hundred, but this is the first couple that have been found in Denmark.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And I think that they're quite similar to the English ones. So that's what they're interested in so people were obviously traveling and sharing knowledge. Yeah. It's really interesting because I think it's so easy, isn't it, to think of like, modern day, and we have all this technology and all of these inventions. And you can be a little bit ignorant towards people from thousands of years ago when actually, if you go to like travel to Ephesus or any of these places, like people had their libraries, their theaters, their gyms, their markets, and we sort of think we're sophisticated now, and actually we have a lot less skills because I wouldn't know how to do that. I could Google it, but without Google, I'm probably lost.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, there's been hominids on the planet for at least 300,000 years who we know were tool users of some kind. But the vast majority of things they made were temporary, right? People don't like to think about how ephemeral their own moment is. But unless you're building something out of like really dense concrete and steel, it ain't going to last. right? Time, the weather, the universe will take it away.
Yeah.
And so these links to the past, I always find really interesting because it's kind of like abstract art. We're not certain exactly what the hell's going on here. We can sense there's a pattern of something, but we still don't really know exactly what it is.
They're polyglyphs. Josh, they're polyglyphs. I learned that
They
word
are.
last week, Fiona.
Yes.
Polyglyphs.
But there's
Yeah.
also
Great
the
word.
but there's the word pareidolia, right? Where you
Oh,
make
yes, and that one
patterns.
too.
You make patterns out of things that aren't there. And so that's, I mean, if you're an anthropologist, obviously you're trying to look for actual real patterns, but we're artists, so hell with it, man.
Josh, could you
It's
pronounce that word again for me? I just want to hear it again.
pareidolia, I believe is how it's called.
Pareidolia. Oh, it sounds like flower, doesn't it? Like something you find in the garden. A pareidolia.
Sounds
know.
like disease, actually, I think.
Well, no,
but
you
mostly-
went to the negative. I went to the beautiful garden where there could be like pretty things, but you had to go to disease. Like,
I'm
honestly.
just saying, does not most Latin sound like a disease waiting to happen? Come on.
Oh dear. Okay, right. Right, while you all ponder on that for a moment, we're just going to find out what's happening with New Collective. So we'll be right back after these messages. New Collective, an arts community collective with art, artists, and art publications with fresh work, news, and updates added weekly to our online collection at newcollective.com. Here you will also find our new journal featuring articles and podcasts, which we are doing right now, of course, which are also available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and wherever you get your podcasts from. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok, like this video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on us spilling the RT every single Monday. Isn't that right, Josh?
Every Monday. What are they
Every
supposed to do,
Monday.
Eamon? What are they supposed to do?
No. Don't be. No. This is not my job. I just did the job. This is your job. What are they supposed to do, Josh?
They're supposed to like, share, subscribe.
Oh shit! Sorry, you have to do that again. I fucked it up. What are they supposed to do? I did this last week too. What are they supposed to do, Josh?
They're supposed to like, share, subscribe, send to 3 friends, put a comment below, smash them buttons. I don't know. Buy some
Bang.
swag.
Buy
You
some
know.
swag. Yes, get that swag in there. We've got so much swag. We do. So much swag. I will talk about swag just in a minute because we are going to go to our next story.
We are.
And
Off we
it's
go.
all about the swag.
It's all about, so I think most people know Murakami, right? He's the Japanese pop artist. I think his whole series is called Super Flat. That's what his like universe is called. And so he's got all these like characters. It's bright and lively. Yeah. And of course, there's some money involved here, right? And
Nah. No shit.
so
Sorry.
what's happening literally as this episode is airing is they're doing the Major League Baseball, but in Japan. So there's like a series in Tokyo. So in honor of that, naturally, Major League Baseball needs to have special swag to go along with it.
Absolutely.
Hoodies and jerseys and bats and this and that and chickens, oh my. And so there we go. The key thing is all this stuff sells for anywhere between $45 and $250. And
Spenny.
multiply that out by the collective of Japanese collecting, and they're going to make bank off of this
Yes.
collaboration.
And not to mention all of the money these celebrities are getting. Look, there's Zendaya in her get-up, looking absolutely fabulous in front of her
I
green
hadn't
screen.
seen that one before. And it's
What do you think about this, Fiona, where they are taking on artists and using their stuff for
Well,
the
look, I
promotion?
mean, it's to look at it a very positive way. It's great
Yes.
that there'll be a lot of people who have never heard of Murakami or who've never heard of that type of art.
Yes.
And they might be people who say, oh, I don't like art. Art is very highbrow. Art has nothing to do with me or my world. So in one sense, it's great because if people like it and it's happy and it's fun and it's sort of engaging, that's a really good thing. But I guess on the flip side of it, it does, like anything else, I'm sure a lot of children and teenagers will be drawn to these patterns and designs. And children grow, which means their jumper that they got this year, they won't fit in it in 6
Yeah.
months. So then mommy and daddy will have to buy a new one, or mommy or daddy and daddy. So I'm
The
sure
truth
they've
is-
thought about that element as well.
this kind of stuff is kind of like Supreme. Like it doesn't necessarily get bought to get worn. It gets bought as a collectible,
Yeah.
right? And so particularly we're talking about the Japanese market, and from the US perspective and the UK art market perspective, these people are actually kind of frowned upon because they're seen as like too populist. Like
Okay.
people really like their art, and so therefore the art world shouldn't like it. And like people still pay tremendous amounts of money. People said the same thing about Basquiat before he died too, right? Like, oh, this is not something because people like it, and it kind of is up from the streets in that kind of way.
Yeah.
And the reality is, if people didn't like it, the collectible urge wouldn't be there, and so clearly it is there. And so the art world, as usual, can go screw itself in terms of like how they see it.
I have a flip on this story because I do have a flip on the story because you think this is all very beautiful, but they've actually butchered. So we love it. We love a snapback on Spill the RT. So I have a couple of caps to share with you all, just to enlighten you all. So here's the first one. Here's the first cap. So they've decided to put the logo of the baseball team right bang in the middle of the city and overlapping it. So this is probably the least intensive one. So this is okay. So we're starting off light. Let's go to the next one. This is the Seattle Mariners, whatever that is. Anyway, so there's that. That's those, and it gets worse. It gets worse.
It looks like a birth chart in astrology.
It literally, and then this. Where are these people from? Before I even tried to pronounce
this is Anaheim, the Angels.
These are
there should be a G. Yeah, there should be a G.
Here's the anals. Oh, it gets worse. I have more. For those listening on podcast, that's spelled Anaels, not Angel.
And it's a very large second A where there should be a G.
And
so
a very
it does kind of look like anals.
Going through a hole. There's a little halo in the middle of it too, as it looks like a bit of a hole. It's all in the interpretation, Josh.
Speaking of culture jamming, there's a whole lot of subliminal messaging going on.
I have more. Okay, here's the next one.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
I have more. So this is
So again, for those that can't see this should be the Houston Astros, but it looks
ASHOS.
Assholes.
Bringing it back to Meet the Fockers. Asshole. Oh, and there's more. This is
of course
the final
there
one.
is.
I have one more.
All right.
I have one more.
I can't hardly wait. Oh,
so I found this on the. So this is actually a Spanish word. It's what you're looking at is the word TETAS instead of Texas.
Yeah, I have those. Yeah.
Tetas.
Yes.
Tetas, which also means boobies or breasts. And now that they're pulled off the market because there was uproar in America about these ridiculous designs, that they pulled them off the market and now they're reselling for crazy money.
Of course, because
we love an auction on Spill the RT.
You got to think that the people who designed these knew there was going to cause a controversy, and that's exactly what they want, right? So they don't have to do as many, so they actually save money because they do short runs. They know they're going to get canceled because of it, which means they're going to become collectible, and everybody's happy. Even if you have tetas, it's okay. It's all right.
I kind of want that hat.
I'm just wondering, did they have matching trousers to go with that? Because I'm imagining they'd follow like Juicy Couture.
Stop!
Have them along the back. Your assholes, your anus.
There's probably a shirt that would have gone with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. Let's find it. Let's get it. Let's order it. It's done. Okay.
So,
and finally,
oh my goodness.
Of course. We have the Spill the RT swag. Like, I mean, you have to flip in our own cap when we're at it. So, if you want this, go to newcollective.com. It's only $29.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a nice hat.
It's a nice hat.
So
right.
that tea is spilt. But speaking of collectibles, off we go to the interwebs. Now, this started originally. Okay. This goes back. This is a Cheeto that is now, this is 2025. So this Cheeto is like 16 years old at this point. It has been traded. It has gone up in value. It sold for $350 originally. And then they put it under if you're a collector, right? You want these perfect cards. So they have the card of the Cheeto. It's called the Cheetozard. And so it's like it's been preserved and now it is worth what? $87,000. $87,000. That's what it actually sold for with 500 bids. Do you want a sign of civilizational collapse? Do you want what we're actually going to leave for the future? We're not leaving a golden toilet. We're leaving a Cheetozard. That is the price of a car.
I think that's really... No, go ahead.
No, what do you think? Go on. No, I'm here for your thoughts.
No, I was just thinking, I can't remember which country, but I know there's a country that banned McDonald's about 10, 15 years ago, but they preserved the last sort of burger and fries, but they haven't rotted. Like there's whatever is chemicals are in them, they're still there. So I'm wondering, will the Cheetos actually be the same?
Well, like I said, the Cheeto has now gone it through like a lifetime that most Cheetos never see, right? Like a lifetime of a well-kept house cat is how long this Cheeto has now.
It's just ridiculous. God. It's just ridiculous. Look, there is your Pokemon Gotta Catch 'Em All card right there in the flesh. That's what you want. That's what's worth 87,000. Oh my God.
The Cheetozard. I swear to God, civilization collapse is probably already here. We don't even notice it, but there you go.
Well, it's the perfect example. More money than sense, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. But again, if you think about the valuation flip here, I bought it for $350, but I flipped it to $87,000. I didn't run the math on that, but that's some sizable increase percentage-wise.
Yeah. What's his name who bought the banana is going to buy that now and he's going to eat it.
Yeah. Seriously, right? Yeah. Oh my God.
What was his name? Can't think
what a world. What a world.
Well, do you know what? With that world into the most amazing world we're going into.
There we go.
We're going to now talk a little bit about Fiona. Fiona. Yes. Let me switch back here. So Fiona, you have been very busy lately.
I have. I've not been eating Cheetos.
Good. Because you could be saving a fortune by not eating them.
Well, maybe you should. Don't eat them. Just buy it and open it. And then like while you're on tour, you just look for the right kind of Cheeto. And then.
I mean, it sounds like a plan. Maybe that's how I can make a living.
Oh. Well, Spotify ain't going to give you that dollar. So
no. 0.003 cents. Yeah, I don't think so.
No, that's not what we're here for though. So tell us what's been going on? What have you been doing?
Well, I've been really busy. So since January, I've been releasing my debut solo music for the first time, which is really exciting because I've been involved in other people's projects sort of for the last few years. So it's just really exciting to be releasing my own stuff for the first time. So I've released 2 singles so far. The second one I just released on Friday, the 14th. So please listen. It's called Sorry. And
we actually have a little sneaky little taster for that.
Here's one I prepared earlier.
Let's have a little listen.
I never said that I am sorry. I'm so sorry. I never said that I am sorry. I didn't know how to say I'm sorry.
Now, there we go. Oh my goodness. That's just so cool. That is so cool.
As you can tell, it's a really cryptic song. You'll never guess what it's about. No clue.
Are you apologetic for something? You're not sorry.
I'm sorry, Elon. No.
Oh, well, this track follows your Hang On A While
That's
release
right.
that was out earlier on this month.
In January.
And both are available. How do we get to listen to them?
So they should be on all streaming platforms. You can also, if you want links to those, you can hop on my website, FionaLuciaMusic.com. That's FionaLuciaMusic.com. Nearly forgot how to spell music there. So all the sort of social links will be there. So I stayed up very late into the night on Thursday making sure it was on all the streaming platforms. So please let me know if it's not.
We will. I think though, from the UK and Ireland's perspective, I think you're covered. What about Josh over in the US?
Oh yeah. How would you describe your musical genre?
So I guess I'm kind of eclectic. So my EP that'll be coming out I suppose the three ones I mainly use would be indie folk, indie soul, soul pop. And Hang On a While, you could hear sort of elements of experimental folk and sort of folk music in that one. Whereas Sorry, you can hear sort of my jazz background a little bit more, and it's a little bit more of a soul pop tune. So
Yeah, and that soul style actually is quite popular.
well, I mean, I hope so.
I
I mean, I like it. I heard actually, I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this, but look, hey, let's be honest. I saw an interview with Lionel Richie years ago, right?
Okay.
And he was on about the creative process, and he was on about songwriting, and he was saying that, he at the time he was signed to the same label as Stevie Wonder, and that Stevie Wonder would be walking up the hall whistling a song. He'd go in, he'd record the song, lyrics, music, everything, and he'd be done. And Lionel Richie really resented him because it would take him months to write one song, and he'd be agonizing. And he said that one day it was the worst day of his life. He said, right, I'm going into the studio and I'm going to write the saddest song ever written. And that was the day he wrote All Night Long. And
No way.
yeah, but the sentence he said that has always stayed with me is, he said, you can't curate whatever it is that's inside of you that wants to come out. You can't curate it. And it really resonated with me, because I think I've never been able to sort of say, okay, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to write this type of song. It just doesn't work for me. It's just, actually, this is just what's coming out of me. And maybe I'd like to be creating something else, but actually it's just not what's coming out, really.
Yeah. Well, to me, I think that's why we say it doesn't have to be about me to still be from me, right? Because that's the moment, that's where I am. I'm not. If you try to force it, it doesn't work. It's like you have to let whatever's going to be.
Absolutely.
Are you writing this music for long, Fiona?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I wrote my first song when I was 14. I was in English class and the clock was ticking, and I got an idea for a song in my head. And so I've been writing since then, but this is my first time kind of ever really doing anything with it, I guess. So that's exciting. Yeah.
Well, it's a brave thing to do, because you're putting all of yourself into it. So it's just, it's a
little bit like opening up your diary.
Sure. But what I always say is you'll regret not doing it more than whatever, right? Like that's part of the fun, is like going through the process versus like wishing you had done so years later.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So good for you. I always encourage people, like, put it out there.
Yeah.
Put it out there.
Definitely.
100%.
So what's the plan then with the rest of the single, with the rest of the EP, should I say?
So the EP will be out in September. I don't have a fixed date just yet because I'm waiting on a couple of things, but there will be more singles in the meantime. It'll be a 6-track EP. It's going to be called Phoenix Waltz. So I'm really excited about it. I got some exciting news just a couple of weeks ago. I'm a semi-finalist in the International Songwriting Competition.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. So that single will be out in the coming months. So fingers and toes crossed, they're announcing the winners in May. So maybe when I release that one, it will be an internationally, oh my God, I can't speak. Thank you. But even the thought of it has just made me lose my mind.
Plus the cross-promotional push that we will give you. Don't worry. We have your back.
We'll be endorsing the heck out of it. It's like, oh my God, have you not listened to this yet?
No.
You will be sorry if you don't.
We're huge. We're huge in Belgium. Trust me. We're great.
Oh, great. Well, no, apparently Tom Waits and Jennifer Hudson are judges, so I nearly fell over when I read that. Just even imagining them sitting down to listen to your song. Yeah. So cool.
That's really cool. And will you be performing this live at any point, or do you have plans? Do you think you'd like to perform it live?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just, I suppose it's just a different process. Same as you guys sort of making art and putting on a show. There's just a lot more kind of practical and financial considerations for that. So
yes, always. Cool.
Oh, it's so exciting though, and it's great to see that you're creating your own work and putting it out there and owning it as well, which is really great.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, also, luckily, I have some fabulous photographs that a really talented photographer took of me.
Oh, stop it.
Who happens to be, oh no, will I get the, no, other way.
It's the other way. Well, you're a very easy model to work with. It's just like the camera just loves you. It's just like, it's just there.
I don't know about that.
It is. We are really excited to hear the next few tracks that are coming up in your EP, and everyone please stay focused on her website, on Fiona's website at FionaLuciaMusic.com. The link will be in our bio below, and you can check her out on all the socials. As you can see, her little @ symbol is just below there, at Fiona Lucia Music. So
Yeah, follow me like I'm a cult. Yeah.
follow. Literally. Are you on the X though? We're kind of
No,
boycotting
I tell
the
you what,
X.
I'm not on the X, but I am on Blue Sky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that where all the ideas are?
That's all the people who don't want anything to do with Elon. That's where they've gone.
Oh, okay. Maybe we should check out Blue Sky, Josh. We're not on Blue Sky.
I'm on Blue Sky.
I've missed a trick. God, he's so snotty. See how I have to deal with this on the weekly basis, Fiona. On that note, Fiona, you have been
We
an
whinge and
incredible...
cry.
Boo-hoo. Thank you, Fiona, for being such an incredible
Yes.
guest and for being so...
thank you so much.
Such a joy to listen and talk with. So thank you very much, and we hope to have you on again soon, because you're just fabulous. And when we need to share more music and about the information about your EP, you will find it on our social channels as well as Fiona's at Nua Collective Art, wherever you connect with your socialization on the social medias, and also do tune in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts from. And Josh, if you don't stop shaking your head, I'm going to send an arrow through the sky
Can't see
that will
it.
land
They can't
in
see it.
California. And it'll go right between your eyes for your head to stop shaking and right into the concrete behind you, or whatever it is behind you, because you've got this fake backdrop that's covering your beautiful studio. See, we're going to call you out now, Josh. See, that's how these things happen. Anyway, that's all from us today. Until next week, spill some tea and we'll talk to you then. Bye.
Bye-bye.